I was good, so I'm about with another video, you feel me? I'm back in it with another video and shit. But look, hey, we got some real crazy. We got some real crazy that we finna get into about my boy. Yeah, it's hella black. You feel me? We finna get straight into. We finna see what's up. What's going on with dude, bro? You heard me? I ain't gonna lie. Like the other day, I was on somebody's stream and like they was talking about Kodak and him taking meth. And I'm like, bro, whoa, Kodak taking meth? Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way. You feel me? We finna get straight into it, man. Let's not waste no time. Just like and subscribe and shit. That's all y'all gotta do. Let's hop into this, man. I'm about to know that. Where's my remote? Where's my remote? Looking at okay, select. Yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna get right into it.
3 a.m. Seen on the side of the roadway. You got excessive tint on the windows, asleep at the wheel, you've got evidence of a crash, and you're blocking traffic at 3 a.m. Okay, that's enough to just get you arrested right there.
Pause. So apparently what this man saying is that they found Kodak Black in a car with 5% window tint, you know, and he was asleep, and I guess he was drugged up or something.
The officer then saw his mouth full of white powder. You know what the? You know, this is what you call a substance abuse problem. So let's hear what he has to say about the drug test.
I look at it, I'm like, well, all of a sudden, now y'all want to put this shit as a random. I missed the drug test. Nobody notified me.
This nigga tweaking, bro.
So who can argue with that?
What?
He needs to quit doing drugs. But he's so reckless, and it's like you're either in jail or you're dead. And that's what I see all the time with drugs, you know?
Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. Who is he? Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And who is he? Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And what he do?
Bruce, the criminal lawyer. He the criminal lawyer. Look at that. See ya,
Hi, this is Bruce Rivers. Welcome to another fun-filled episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers, your very own personal board-certified criminal defense lawyer. Today, we are doing a rapper edition. We're talking about Kodak Black. We're going to highlight, he got busted for cocaine and some other things, and the way he got busted was just sad, honestly. And then kind of highlight his criminal history and what does it all mean. But before we do that, this is brought to you by eSign.com. eSign.com is a very effective way to remotely do business. Let's say, for the sake of argument, you are on your 10th or 12th or 15th criminal offense, and you need a lawyer fast, but you can't go anywhere because you got warrants all over the place because you failed a drug test or failed to go to a drug test. Well, you're going to have to go back to your lawyer, and he's downloaded the app. He's got to get 3 free signatures a month. Sign it eSign, because eSign and retainer is easier than being there. I use it all the time. eSign.com is a very effective way to remotely do business. So let's talk about Kodak Black here. Kodak Black was caught swallowing a mouthful of cocaine during an arrest. It never ceases to amaze me how people are unmindful of their presence on the street.
Swallowing.
If you're rolling, you shouldn't be rolling dirty. And if you're rolling dirty, you shouldn't be causing attention to yourself.
Right.
Because guess what?
Right.
It's very easy to get stopped by the police when you're sitting in the middle of a fucking road and you're passed out. So, Kodak Black, according to police reports, was caught swallowing a mouthful of cocaine during a traffic stop, which led to his arrest on drug charges. It was 3 a.m. First of all, what do I tell you? What do I fucking tell you? I tell you nothing good happens after midnight. Do you have to go to the after party? If you have to go to the after party, have it at your place. But do it.
Hey, 3 a.m., it's commercial. It's commercial right now. But 3 a.m., that's the demon time, bro. Everybody know that's the demon time, bro. That's where the demonic stuff be happening. The after parties, that's when people be dying. Your bitch getting fucked. Hey, hold on, I'm finna skip this, bro. Let's skip.
A place where a woman's not going to call the cops on you, or the neighbors aren't going to call the cops on you. So it's 3 a.m. in the morning in Plantation, Florida, and officers reported that his black 2019 Bentley SUV was parked with its taillights on, blocking part of the road, and when the officers approached, the window was halfway down, and he was asleep inside, blocking traffic. That's what you call probable cause to stop somebody. First of all, you don't need probable cause. You need just reasonable, articulable suspicion that a crime was committed and that he committed it. And somebody 3 a.m. in the middle of the road in a Bentley, asleep with your with your brake lights on, is cause to at least investigate.
In the middle of the road?
Could be a
Do they literally mean in the middle?
You know, it could be a well check.
Out of sight, bro.
The police did report a smell of burnt weed. Actually, speaking of burnt weed, we had a new case that came out. The smell of marijuana is not necessarily enough to expand the search of a car.
Right.
But that's another issue
bro.
for another day. They smelled burnt weed coming from the vehicle, as well as weed residue inside the console. So they see weed residue. A styrofoam cup included an alcoholic beverage was also present, so we got a rolling party.
That man was...
When asked if there were any weapons or anything illegal in the SUV, Kodak said,
but...
just weed. When he went to go run his information, the cop noticed that white powder falling from the wrapper. The officer then saw his mouth full of white powder. You know, what the fuck? You know, this is what you call a substance abuse problem. The substance was tested and confirmed to be cocaine, despite the fact that Kodak claiming it was Percocet.
Pause. I heard that, bro. Okay, on what I was watching, I saw a video about Kodak back. DJ Academics. That's what I was watching. I was watching DJ Academics. So basically, I didn't watch the whole thing. I only watched like a little bit of it. But basically, like, I heard that Kodak, he said he wasn't doing, like, I said. This what DJ Academics was. I was watching a lot, bro. He said he doesn't do cocaine, but he does meth. And I was at the time I was in the car with my sister, so I was like, I don't know, bro. Let's just get to the video, bro.
It really matters if it was fucking Percocet. Don't use the perks, man. You know, I'm good. I got a back problem. Additionally, when the officers searched the wrapper, they found clear baggie with a small amount of substance left in his pocket. Officers added that the Kodak's Bentley had visible passenger side bumper and door damage, which may have involved in a crash. The vehicle's exterior and interior, as well as the narcotics found, were photographed for evidence. Blah blah blah. Let's kind of recap of this 3 a.m. scene on the side of the roadway. You got excessive tint on the windows, asleep at the wheel. You've got evidence of a crash, and you're blocking traffic at 3 a.m.
So he was really in the middle of the road.
That's enough to just get you arrested right there. Then you inside the vehicle.
Because he said he was blocking traffic, so he was really in the middle of the road.
And I don't see anything that there was a weapon. And thank God there wasn't a weapon, because that could be bad. But the problem also is the fact that he was on federal paper at the time, on what they call supervised release. And when you're on supervised release, you're not, number one, you probably aren't supposed to be out at 3 a.m. Number two, you're probably not supposed to be doing perks or cocaine. He did receive an additional charge of probation violation related to the federal case, which was also included in the report. Now, let's just back up a little bit. So he's on federal paper. He gets busted with cocaine and perks or whatever he's got. And so where does he go from here? He was released on $5,000 bail. But it's clearly, I mean, he's only 26 years old. 26 years old.
Kodak,
Let's should we go through his criminal history a little bit?
Bro,
because that's going to frame where this case is going. Because he's now charged with possession of cocaine, tampering with physical evidence, in other words, trying to eat it, and improper stop, stand, or park. Well, who cares about that? So in 2015, he was arrested for kidnapping, battery, and other charges. While that was pending, he got arrested for a marijuana possession charge. In 2016, he got arrested for sexual battery from a woman reportedly accompanied him to a hotel after a show at Treasure City. In 2016, arrest for weapons charges. So it doesn't sound like he had any weapons on him. But, you know, when you have a felony and you're riding dirty, the riding dirty we can deal with, the guns we can't deal with, because there are hard minimums on a gun charge. So, if you're going to be riding dirty, don't do anything you need to do to be armed. You know, why would you be armed? You could have a buddy be armed, or hire a security guard, or just fucking stay home. So, 2016, arrest for weapons possession. He owned a Glock, and they arrested him for weapons possession by a convicted felon and marijuana.
I'm at
2016, arrest for in
7/23.
Broward County. Again, open warrants, charges of false imprisonment. At least he's creative. While he was in jail for the arrest and the outstanding warrants for the criminal sexual misconduct case in Florence, you know, the other arrests were brought to light, and then that kind of inhibited his release from jail. So 3 months after that, in August 2016, he was sentenced to a year of house arrest and 5 years probation.
Yeah.
So that means he'd be on probation until 2021, right? A month later, in September, he pleads no contest to a possession case that was sentenced to 120 days. And so he did that 120 days in 2016, but then in November he was released. But guess what? He couldn't just go. He had to get extradited to deal with the sexual assault charge in South Carolina. While that was pending, he bailed out on $100,000, in South Carolina, and in 2017 he violated his conditions of release. In May 2017, angry outburst, sentencing at the House violation. April 21, accused of grabbing his anger management counselor by the arm after she threatened to call 911 when he refused to leave a session. Okay, so you say I got anger problems? Fuck you! What the hell? I mean, Your Honor, I've said this before. Your Honor, I cannot, in good conscience, place my client in anger management. Well, why not, Mr. Rivers? Because it'll piss him off. 5 days later, he was found guilty on 5 counts of violating his house arrest. May 4th, he was sentenced to 364 days in prison with possibility of early release if he completed a life skills course. All we got to do is just get him a little education, life skills.
Yeah.
January 2018, arrested for weapons and drug possession and child neglect. Don't like the child neglect, but the weapons and drug possession, that sounds like a party. Arrested for grand theft of a firearm and 2 charges of possession of weapons and ammo by a Florida delinquent adult. 2018, sentenced January for arrest. Did a year in prison for the remaining charges stemming from his January arrest. Got credit for 90 days, blah, blah, blah. May 2019, arrest for weapons possession. When you have multiple convictions, multiple felonies, weapons are your kryptonite. You cannot possess a firearm. There are hard mandatory minimums.
Yeah.
Kodak Black and 3 others were apprehended by U.S. Customs and Border agents while trying to cross into Canada. Okay, moron, your bus is leaving. You can't go into Canada with a firearm. First of all, you really can't go into Canada if you got a felony. You think a guy looking like that and with his record is going to be able to get into Canada without being searched? Not going to happen.
Yeah, no.
Step ones are the most comfortable underwear I've ever made. They're high performance.
Bro.
And
Step 1, I'm how to do this move though. I don't know, I don't like too tight around the ball, say area, my God. Come on, out on the ball, say I don't like too tight around the ball. I gotta have some hang time. It looks good though, it looks comfortable.
So he paid $20,000 to $40,000 bond and walked out of jail with a fan of cash covering his face. Then less than a month later, he was arrested on weapons charges in Miami. What the hell? Why not?
That man, Kodak.
I'm not going to be without my guns. Just before he was set to take the stage at a hip-hop music festival in Rolling Loud, he was apprehended by U.S. Marshals for state and federal firearms violations following what an extensive investigation. Here's the problem that he's going to get going forward. You get enough of these, and all of a sudden you get on federal paper, you get another federal offense, and they can do what they call an 851. An 851 is kind of a career criminal kind of deal, where you get higher mandatory minimums for various crimes. I mean, it's not a career criminal, but it is kind of like that. Anyway, 2019, federal sentencing. Kodak Black pleaded guilty to the federal weapons charge, admitting to giving false information in connection with the January 2019 gun purchase. So you can't lie on a gun application. I don't know what he put down, but that he didn't have any criminal history. I mean, how easy is that to fucking do? Check. I mean, really. And he was sentenced to 3 years and 10 months. Behind bars, he had heated confrontations with guards at the high-security prison in Big Sandy in Kentucky, which prompted him to file a lawsuit that accused the prison staff of beating him and restraining him for hours with no access to the bathroom.
Every new subject, every class I take,
Commercial.
run around
At the damn commercial, man.
skills and that knowledge into my
Skip, nigga.
His third album, Bill Israel, was released in November 2020 while he was still incarcerated. So good, he's able to make money while he's in jail. January 21, Trump sets Kodak Black free. There are people that you'd want to pardon. Generally,
I remember that. I remember that.
lengthy criminal history, but who cares? I like pardons no matter who gets it. So Trump pardons him. He drops the lawsuit. However, While Trump's grant of clemency was a welcome relief for the rapper, it did not shield him from the sexual assault charge pending against him in South Carolina. So he had to go with that. He eventually settled that case for a suspended 10-year sentence, according to court records. It was placed on 18 months of probation, served no additional time. Sometimes they do that to avoid a trial, because when you have a sexual assault case, if somebody's been sexually assaulted, it's traumatic for them to go through a trial. But in this case, they struck a deal, a very lenient deal, actually. I apologize this happened, and I'm hopeful we can all move forward. So said Kodak Black. He later posted a message on social media about the resolution of the case, saying, "I ain't have to come off no money." So, I don't exactly know what that means, other than maybe I didn't have to pay for a lawyer to try the case. I don't know. But in January 22, he was arrested on New Year's Day in Pompano Beach on a trespassing charge. Officers claimed in a police report that Kodak had been at a housing complex despite having been banned from the property by the Housing Authority of Pompano Beach. However, in February 2022, he was shot in the leg in West Hollywood, California after a fight involving members of his entourage that broke out at a restaurant where Justin Bieber was having an after party. And then he was arrested in July of 2022. He was pulled over in Broward County after an officer ran the plates, found its registration was expired, according to the report. They smell, what do you think they smell? Marijuana. They found a strong odor of marijuana and decided to search the vehicle, at which point they found 31 oxycodone pills and more than $75,000 in cash, and he said it was prescribed for his pain relief. So his lawyer said he provided Broward County state attorneys with the evidence of the prescription that he's moving to quickly resolve the charges, which include trafficking, oxycodone, and illegal possession of a controlled substance. We're going to tell you what he thinks about different types of pills in a second. And in February 2023, in the Broward County pill case, Kodak allegedly violated his bail terms by failing to show up for a drug test. We always like to give everybody their due, so let's hear what he has to say about the drug test.
Well, man.
Here we go.
I missed the drug test. Nobody notified me. Where nobody notified me. Nobody hit my boy up.
Is it crackhead? Is it crackhead or meth?
You need to come.
Bruh.
So who can argue with that? Honestly, I don't know where or how this was filmed. And if you look here, look at the evolution of his face over the last several years.
Yeah.
Look at that very first photo. Looks like a decent young man. He's got very little, if any.
People change as they grow, bro.
And if you look at the evolution of him, it just looks
I ain't
like
gonna lie to that.
through the mill with drugs. He just looks like he's been through the mill with drugs.
Yeah.
And and that appears to be the common denominator in every single one of his brushes with law enforcement. Let's take a look at the explanation of Super Gremlin, which will kind of explain a little bit of what his mindset is.
Let's talk about Super Gremlin.
Yeah.
What made you name it that, and what made you make that record?
I was in the studio and I was just going off, right?
Bro, every time this man
It came to my mind, like when it came to that part, I knew perfect, but I still ate some gremlin. I really didn't want to say that shit, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like that was the first thing that came to mind.
You didn't want to say Gremlin?
I didn't want to say that. I knew the perk was fake, but I still ate some gremlin. But that shit was just hard as shit though. I just knew that bitch what that bitch was gonna do.
he just said it because it was hard.
I ain't want to say that shit though.
Yeah.
We call that self-snitching a little bit, though. Because if he knows the perk is fake, then we know it is what? Probably fentanyl, right?
Cause my dog, Sosa and shit, he be telling me like, fam, like, motherfucker look up to you like nothing. Like, you up around what you call it in that motherfucker?
Bro, listen to how he talk, bro.
Shit, like I start the mic and basically on shit like man, fam, like I ain't gonna do a shit. Like,
Boyfriend. He said boyfriend.
Try to like do no shit like that.
Essentially, what he's saying is,
Every time he talk, I don't know what he be saying, bro.
telling him that
He talk like a gremlin, bro. Like he
He's sort of making it sound
I don't know
like
what he be
he's
saying.
taking fentanyl pills, and these kids look up to him, and they do, you know. And so you create a culture where it's okay to, you know. And these
Yeah,
fentanyl, let me
a
tell
lot
you,
of kids be
fentanyl's
looking up
killing
to shit
people
like
all over
that.
the country, all over the country. I have a lot of those cases right now as I speak, and you know, and he basically is saying he'll stop sometimes and just say don't do that. Well, how about cut it off at the beginning and sing about something else? It's like maybe he can push some positivity. And you heard him say that, you know, he didn't even like the lyrics.
Put some positivity.
It was resonating with him. Anyway, he needs to quit doing fucking drugs. I mean, you're gonna wind up one day seeing a Kodak Black overdosed. You know, and I hate to say that. I hate to even say that.
Yeah.
It's so reckless, and it's like you're either in jail or you're dead. And that's what I see all the time with drugs. You know, people become reckless.
Yeah, if he don't stop, he gonna overdose for a fact, bro.
Self-destructive. We saw it in my last video when we talked about Hunter Biden. You know, I mean, it is just such a cycle of, you know, yeah, it takes my health. Yeah, it takes my money. Yeah, it's gonna take my freedom. But goddamn it, I gotta have more of it. You know, and people just, you know, if you know somebody that needs some help, get them some fucking help. And like I said, sometimes law enforcement interactions will save lives, and they really can, because it'll make you change. Otherwise, you have to sit. And if you're sitting in a jail cell, guess what? You're not doing. You're probably not doing drugs. Are there drugs in jails and prisons? Of course there are, but not like there are on the outside. So, this has just been our little update on Kodak Black getting arrested for cocaine again, and you know, he's got so much criminal history, and we just detailed it all for you. And at some point, you got to be tired of dealing with this shit, you would think. So our heart goes out to Kodak Black. Let's hope you.
Yeah, all our heart go out to Kodak Black, man.
Let's just
Pray that man get safe. Be safe.
want to hear your voice.
You know, stop on the
Focus on the
drugs.
music, not the drugs. See you next time here on Criminal Lyrics. I'm Bruce Rivers. Make sure you
Yeah,
subscribe.
yeah.
Also on Instagram.
Alright, make sure, with that being said, make sure y'all subscribe.
Next time here on Criminal
Yeah, I'm gonna see y'all next time. Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all leave a thumb up on the video. Because if y'all don't, YouTube is not gonna recommend it to y'all. That's what I'm trying to say. But I'm talking too fast. But yeah. And with that being said, I'm gonna catch up on the next video. I might make some different next video about, like, I don't want this to just be a reaction channel. I actually want to do shit on this channel. But right now I'm just reacting to shit. So we could grow, bro. So I could grow. Trying to grow this channel up, man. Yes, sir.